Hi, Cecil Robles here again, and I'd like to welcome you to part 2 of my 3-part Forex Dominator video training series. Now, I recommend that if you haven't reviewed video 1 yet, that you go ahead and do that before watching part 2. As a quick refresher, here's an overview of what we covered in the first video. First off, we talked about the challenges of the global economy and why that actually bodes well for smart Forex traders. You see, volatility is the new norm. It's what's happening right now in the global economy. It's a very volatile market. And volatility just means that the market and the currency prices are fluctuating more than normal. And this obviously gives us opportunity to siphon off profits. And that is if you know where to look. So that's what we've been talking about. We also talked about the behavioral trading method that we use and why this approach is virtually foolproof. We talked about how markets are made up of people and how people react to market conditions, to economic news, and to other events the same way that they have always reacted. Their decisions are quantifiable and they're predictable, and successful traders capitalize on this. And we also talked about the behavioral trading approach that we use that lets you capture 75 to 80% of the overall price move, but within that move, you're actually able to capture 100 to 300% of the move, and that leads to up to 300% gains per year. We also talked about why 90 to 95% of traders fail, and I shared with you 5 tips for making sure that you're set up for success before you ever place the first trade of the day. And I also introduced you to the Forex Dominator software. I'm going to go over that quite a bit more in this video. But Forex Dominator is intelligent software, and it adjusts to market conditions on the fly. And that's what makes it unique. It's based on 25 years of trading success without a single losing year during that time. And it factors in predictable human behavior and alerts you to potentially profitable trades. It takes the guesswork completely out of trading, and it makes it push button easy, which is what I like about it. In this video, we're going to look at how Forex Dominator works. We'll look at the 3 types of trade setups that the software looks for, and these are the explosion method, the implosion method, and the catapult method. Those are the 3 trades that we look for and the software looks for with Forex Dominator. You'll also see the software in action. I'll share some recent results with you, and I'll also show you how easy it is to get started using the Forex Dominator software. It's really, really simple to set up and really easy to get started with it. And I'll also share some money management secrets that are critical to your success as a trader. I believe money management is one of the most important things when it comes to trading successfully. I'm going to share with you some tips and things that I do to be successful with money management. First up, let's go ahead and look at the 3 types of trade setups that Forex Dominator looks for. Now, here is a pound-dollar chart since around the beginning of the year. You can see here that we started over here around January 13th, 2012. That's where this chart starts out at, so this is right at the beginning of the year. The pound-dollar has been a very good currency pair this year, as you can see. We've captured over 1,600 pips on 11 signals, and that's about an 83% strike rate, just in case you're wondering, between the winners and the losers. And in case you're new to trading, let me go ahead and tell you that each one of these bars on this chart, each one of these price bars here, represents 1 day. We're on the daily chart, as you can see right up here. I'll just go ahead and show you that we're right on the daily chart right here. So this is the pound-dollar daily chart. Now, Forex Dominator works on any price chart, but we like to stick with the 4-hour bars and the daily bars. Those are the ones that are going to give us the most profitability because, quite frankly, the market moves much smoother on the 4-hour and on the daily bars. When you get down to the 1 hour, 60-minute, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, there's a lot of noise there. When it comes to the market, there's really only 3 ways that the market moves. The market moves in trends. So this would be considered a trend right here. So you've got a trend going up. Then over here on this side, you've got a trend going up as well. Those are trends. Trends are great. Everybody can make money in trends. Then the market also counter trends. And by counter trend, I mean simply it goes against the trend. Goes against the trend. goes against the trend. The trend overall in this chart is up. And we see here 3 times that the market went against the trend. That's an example of counter trending. And then the market can go sideways. And sideways just simply means that we had a counter trend. Then we thought, oh, maybe we'll start a trend again. Didn't happen. We had another counter trend. Oh, maybe we'll start an implosion here. Didn't quite happen. We go back up. We think maybe we'll have a trend again. Doesn't quite happen. Comes back down. This is a sideways market. Forex Dominator uses behavioral analysis to identify when traders are most likely to create each market environment. And what this does is it gives those that are using it that competitive edge and allows you to get into the trades at exactly the right time. You see, the problem with most trading systems and software, I'm sure you've seen them all over the net. You've probably looked at presentations like this in the past and you're saying, what's different about this system or software? Well, the difference is that most of those systems and software only use one method, or if they do use multiple methods for different market conditions, they may get conflicting signals. Forex Dominator was designed and developed to think like the human brain thinks and to pick up on traders' behavioral patterns. So you don't ever have to worry about getting conflicting signals. With Forex Dominator, we have 3 different unique trades: the explosion trade, the implosion trade, and the catapult trade, and they all work together simultaneously to create one powerful system, and the software alerts you to each one of these trade setups. So whether the market's trending, whether it's counter trending, or whether it's going sideways like it is here, doesn't matter. Forex Dominator, as you can see, we had a sell here, we had a buy here, we had 3 buys here actually, we had a sell here, we had a sell here, we had a buy here, we had a sell here, we had a buy, buy, buy. So we load up when the market is telling us, hey, there's good potential here that traders are jumping on board this move. And that's what I mean by behavioral analysis. We look for those behavioral patterns. We look to think like a trader, think like the market thinks, and then we take those trades. It's really, really simple. There's only 3 ways the market can move. And if we can operate in those 3 different market conditions, then we can trade just about any currency pair at any time and get the same results over and over again. And that's really what we're looking for. So let's talk about the different methods. Let me show you how these methods work. This is the explosion method. And what this does is it allows you to capitalize on price explosions before they ever even happen. Forex Dominator alerts you so that you can get in before other traders react. If you can get in before the market moves, if you're trying to get into this market up here, well, your chances of loss are extremely high. You don't want to try to get into a market in the middle of the move. That's called chasing the market. And any trader worth their salt knows that it's not good to chase the market. So what we try to do is we try to capitalize before the market ever has what we call a price explosion. This is considered a price explosion right here. And that's why we call this the explosion method, because this particular method gets us into the market before price ever explodes with the least amount of risk and the greatest potential for reward. And that's key right there. Least amount of risk, least. That's what you're looking for, with greatest potential reward. You don't want very little reward with a lot of risk. That's not good. So what Forex Dominator does is it says, okay, there's a great potential that traders are going to begin to buy this market right here. It's looking at the behavioral patterns that traders create over and over and over and over again. So notice here, we had a counter trend. That counter trend failed. We'll talk about the implosion method here in a minute. It failed. We got out of the market at just about break even right here. We're completely out of the market. We're looking for another trade. All of a sudden, everything lines up and it's a go. On this trade, on this candle, we buy right about here, and our stop loss goes down about here, and we're looking for price to explode. What happens on the next candle? It looks like, oh, everything's going in our favor. Then, on the very next candle, what happens? The market completely turns around, goes against us, and if you're like most traders, you're thinking at this point, you know, I don't really think this market's going to go anywhere. Let me just go ahead and get out right here. I've got a really small loss, and let me just go ahead and get out. That's what most traders do. That's the way most traders think. Well, what we're looking to do is we're looking to add on to that position. We're looking to say, okay, if this is really going to be a great price move, we got a good entry point here, but we can get another good entry point somewhere along the way too. And if we can get that second entry point and it gives us a confirmation that it's going to take off in the direction that we're looking for, we can really load that trade up. And I don't mean load it up in the fact that, you know, if we lose on this trade that we're going to lose the house or anything like that, because that's not the way that we trade. And you'll see in a moment that the Forex Dominator software will actually show you the exact money management that you're supposed to use. But what we do is we say, okay, if the market is going to take off, we want to be in that market. And that's exactly what happens. The market takes off in our favor. We have a price explosion here. You notice that we had a gap in the market right here. That gap got filled, and then all of a sudden price takes off, and we get out right about here. As the system, as the software alerts us to get out right at that point, you can see right there the stop mark, and that gets us out of that particular trade. That's how the explosion method works. And with the software, there's literally no guesswork involved, because the software says, hey, get in right here. Hey, get in right here. Hey, get out right here. That's exactly how it works. So that's the explosion method. Now, let's look at the implosion method. This is one of my favorite methods to trade right here. How does the implosion method work? Well, it lets you capitalize whenever buyers overtake sellers or vice versa. In other words, when the market has the highest potential for collapse. Whenever it looks like the buyers are going to overtake the sellers or the sellers are going to overtake the buyers, and the market could potentially collapse. In other words, the bottom could fall out, the trend could change, everything about that market could change. Forex Dominator looks to capitalize on that. And it alerts you to those potentially major market moves for maximum profit. So you don't have to worry about missing the trade. That's the key, is to make sure you get the trade when the high potential is there. So in this particular case, you can see here, if we could see back in time on this chart, you'd see that the market had been trending up, and then all of a sudden we get a very, very strong indication that the market could potentially go down, and we look for the market to implode. Now, it doesn't happen all the time. In the last chart I just showed you that we had a potential implosion signal, and we took that signal, and it didn't quite work out for us. The market didn't implode all the way, but we didn't lose a whole lot of money. In this particular case, your risk is extremely small, and your potential for reward is extremely great, as you can see down here. Very, very limited risk, very, very big potential reward. And that's what we're looking for. And what ends up happening here is the market implodes. It caves in on itself, right? And that's what we're looking for. That's what the implosion method looks for. The implosion method looks for weak markets with weak traders that will not do what it takes to continue to buy or to continue to sell that market. And that's what it looks for. It looks for the behavior, the mentality of traders to implode. And when the mentality of traders implode, when they capitulate, then that's it. Price is going to fall or price is going to rise. That's what happens. The same thing happened down here. We got into an implosion trade up here. It created a very nice little trend in this particular market. And if we were to look back, this was a longer trend here. So it was really a large pullback in this market, but it created a nice one, created a nice implosion there with very, very good gains, over 300 pips in gains. And then we see here that we get a signal that says, well, this particular move could potentially collapse on itself again, and we could see price go back in the opposite direction. So what do? We test the waters. We jump on the signal. We say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and test the waters. It's a small risk with a large potential reward. I mean, it could go way back up here somewhere. We don't know where it's going to go. And that's the problem with most systems and most traders, is they think they know where the market's going to go. We don't know where the market's going to go, nor do we care as long as we're trading in the direction of the market. And so what happens here? The market doesn't implode. It stops right here. It doesn't go any higher than that. You can see right back here that there was support right there in that area, and it did not go any higher than that. I mean, there was resistance up here. It didn't go any higher than that. So what happened? Well, we simply get out and go in the opposite direction with zero loss. It's basically a break-even trade. So it didn't hurt us at all. And now we went short on an explosion trade. Remember, the system works together. Implosion, explosion, it works together. And so we go short on an explosion trade, and we're currently up a couple hundred pips in this particular market right now. And so that's the way that this system works together, and the software alerts you to it. There's no guesswork involved. Next up, we have the catapult method. And the catapult method it has to be my most favorite method that we use with the Forex Dominator system, and that it alerts us to. Now here we can see we had what we call a implosion trade. We were looking for this trend to potentially implode and go down, go farther down than it did. Didn't quite happen because in the middle of that, we got what we call a catapult trade. Now, a catapult trade is a very, very powerful trade because this is telling us that traders are ready to take this market on beyond its highs at a very, very high rate. This is where we see those up to 84% profitable trades. Many times the catapult trade, you'll have those very, very high profitable trades. And the other thing about the catapult trade is that it has a very, very, very small risk. A very small risk. Look at that risk. And in this particular case, we had two catapult trades in a row. So we had one here, and then we got what I call a blue light special. I mean, this thing just ramped up for us and gave us a second catapult trade, confirming that this market had a very high potential to turn around. This is where we're able to capitalize on powerful money management techniques that I'm going to show you in just a moment. And then what happened is we followed it up with an explosion trade. Look at what the market did. It just exploded at this point, took off upwards, and gave us several hundred pips on each trade. And then we got out with what we call an implosion trade. And an implosion trade tells us this market has a good potential of imploding on itself. And we're currently short in this market right now as we speak. And so those are the three trading methods that we use with the Forex Dominator system. And what it does is it literally allows you to capitalize on market momentum for maximum pips with minimum risk. That's what the catapult trade does. It looks for the momentum in the market, and it says momentum is going in my favor. There's a very good chance that traders are going to jump on board and really take this market up higher or take it up down lower. Forex Dominator, what it does is it identifies those catapult opportunities like clockwork, and then it pounces when the dumb money enters the market for the winning trades up to 84% of the time. And one of the most powerful trading methods that was taught to me by my CTA and hedge fund mentor was the catapult method. And the Forex Dominator software makes it so that there's no guesswork involved. That's why I love this particular trading system. So now that you've seen the types of trade opportunities that Forex Dominator alerts you to, let me go ahead and show you some recent results that we've had. So here is the Dollar Chief US dollar Swiss franc daily chart. You can see up in the upper left-hand corner that it's the daily chart. And you can see here that we had our first signal was a sell signal. This was an implosion trade, and you can see that the market imploded masterfully. It was just a beautiful implosion. And then we follow that up with what we call an explosion trade. We're looking now for the market to explode downwards, and that's exactly what it does. And it gives us another 113 pips in profit. So the first trade we had 296 pips. Second trade we had 113 pips. And then we followed that up with a very small 16 pip loss. We were looking for the market to implode the opposite direction. It didn't quite happen. We got a 16 pip loss. And then we followed that with an 84 pip profit based on our catapult trade. The catapult trade is a powerful trade. And it told us, hey, it's a good potential that the market's going to catapult here, and you're going to continue to see the momentum go in the direction of the trend. And then we see here we had a very small 4 pip loss on an explosion trade that we tried to see if it would continue to go down quite a bit further. It didn't happen. And so we had a 4 pip loss. We followed that up with a 108 pip profit. And then we follow that up with an 88 pip profit, followed by a 40 pip loss, a 13 pip profit, a 15 pip loss, and a 49 pip loss consecutively. And then we currently are in this market long with 99 pips in open profit as of the recording of this video. And then we also have a buy signal for an explosion trade at 92.69 right now to go long. 92.69, we're getting an explosion trade to take place. That's a total of 677 pips of profit and 7 winners and 5 losers since the beginning of the year. That's about a 73% strike rate on this particular currency pair. And you can see here that based on this particular signal that we got, the 92.69.7 to go long, Forex Dominator, it alerts us to that. So when a trade alert pops up, all we do is we simply look at it and we say, okay, there's a dollar chief. It's the daily time frame. There's a buy stop. The entry price is 92.69. The stop loss is 90.41. In this particular case, there was no profit target. And sometimes we don't have a profit target because, once again, we're looking to capitalize on those big market movements. And a lot of times we'll utilize what we call a trailing stop, or we'll look for a signal in the opposite direction to tell us to get out of that trade. So once we have the signal, we then review the built-in checklist to determine if the trade meets the criteria for a potentially profitable trade. We place our entry order. We place our stop loss. We go ahead and place our profit target if we have one. And it's really that simple. Now here are the types of gains that you can look for going forward. Here we have the Euro-Yen daily chart. We had a 12 pip profit to start it out with there in January. We followed that up with a 496 pip profit, a 388 pip profit. Then we had a small 27 pip loss. We then followed that with a 379 pip profit, a 10 pip profit. And then we're in this market short right now as of the recording of this video. And we had a total of 1,231 pips of profit, 5 winners and 1 loser, which is an 83% strike rate. Here we have the pound dollar daily chart. You can see here since the beginning of the year, since January, we had a 405 pip profit followed by an 89 pip profit, followed by a 58 pip loss, a 42 pip profit, 110 pip profit, 120 pip profit. We had a 128 pip loss there, 201 pip profit, a 49 pip profit, 291 pip profit, 269 pip profit, and 196 pip profit, and we're currently short this market as of the recording of this video, and you can see that was a total of 1,613 pips of profit, 10 winners and 2 losers. And then here we have the pound yen daily chart, one of my favorite currency pairs to trade on the daily chart. You can see here that we had a massive 1,397 pip profit on this particular trade. We also had a 973 pip profit. That first trade was what we call an implosion trade. The second trade was an explosion trade, followed by the third trade, which was an explosion trade. And we generally keep it to only 3 trades in one movement or in one direction. And that gave us an 862 pip profit on that third trade. We followed that up with an implosion trade of 344 pips. We followed that up with an explosion trade that lost 84 pips. And then we had an implosion trade that had 146 pips. And we're currently short this market. We've had a total of 3,638 pips of profit with 5 winners and 1 loser, which is an 83+% strike rate. So now let's look at how the Forex Dominator system works. Now, getting Forex Dominator software set up is really, really simple. So you simply pop in the CD-ROM once you get your package. You click on the Forex Dominator installation icon. You follow the prompts. And once the Forex Dominator is installed, it's going to ask you for your MetaTrader directory. Now, Forex Dominator works in conjunction with one of the most stable charting platforms around, MetaTrader 4. Of course, it's free and you can still trade with any broker that you want. And all we do is we pull the data from MetaTrader 4. So the software is a standalone software, but it pulls the data from MetaTrader 4 in order to give us our signals. Now, once you have that up, all you do is you input your email address and your cell phone number that you want to receive the alerts to, and you can enable or disable those alerts at any time. And once you do that, voila, you're done. Forex Dominator is now running in the background, scanning the markets for potentially profitable trade setups. And when an alert shows up, the Forex Dominator software will pop up over your chart just like it shows up here, and it'll give you the exact trade parameters. So for instance, pound dollar, this is the pound dollar 4-hour time frame. This is a buy stop. We're going to buy the market at 62.20 with a stop loss at 61.12. So you can see there it gives you the exact parameters. There was no profit target on this particular trade, and so we don't enter that. We just leave that blank. And you'll also immediately receive the email and the text message alerts. So you'll have the window pop up, you'll have the text message alerts and the email alerts pop up. And once again, the text messages can be set up for any country on the planet. It's not just limited to the United States. You'll also notice that the Forex Dominator prints an arrow above the signal bar, and it prints the price and a dotted line on the chart for your entry price. And last but not least, you can have the Forex Dominator automatically alert you with an audio alert as well, just like this.
Trade alert. Check your charts for an implosion trade going short.
And so we've got you covered in every single way possible to make sure that you get the signals that Forex Dominator is delivering to you. Now, once you receive the signal, all you have to do is spend 30 to 60 seconds determining whether or not you want to take the trade using our built-in trade value calculator. Now, this goes beyond just money management of profit of risk-reward ratio. This goes beyond that. This basically tells you how much strength a trade signal has. All you have to do is click on the type of trade signal that you received, answer the simple questions that the trade value calculator gives you, and you're done. That's it. It's that simple. And you determine how much you're going to risk on that trade by using this trade value system calculator. So in this particular case, this is an explosion method. So we pop it up, we go to the calculator, we say, is the momentum in the favor of the move? We answer that yes or no. In this case, it's no. The momentum is not in the favor of the move. And with the system, we show you how to easily identify that within 3 seconds on the chart. It's so simple that literally a 12-year-old could do it. And then the second question is this the first signal outside of the trend lines? The answer is yes. Once again, you can look at the chart and in 3 seconds, you'll be able to determine that. Then we say, what's the reward to risk ratio? We have a 90 pip reward in this case with a 51 pip potential risk. Once we put that in there, we click calculate. It says the trade value is 3.8. So now we go over here to where our value area is, and it says value equals 2. And below, we avoid the trade. Value equals 3, it's a fair trade. Value equals 4, it's a good trade. Value equals 5 or better, it's an excellent trade. Now, based on these 3 things here, if it's a fair trade, we're going to risk anywhere from 0.5% to 1%. It's really that simple. If it's a good trade, we're going to risk anywhere from 1% to 2%. It's really that simple. If it's an excellent trade or better, then if it's a value of 5 or better, then it's an excellent trade. We can risk anywhere from 2% down or up to, rather, 3% on that particular trade. So that's how this works, and that is how this system separates from the rest, is with the powerful money management, discretionary money management that we give you with this system. The trade signals, it alerts you, you take the signal. The money management is where you can really see the equity in your account explode, and that's what our built-in trade parameters value system does. It's a powerful, powerful system. So now that you've seen Forex Dominator in action and how it works, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about money management. Now, my definition of money management is this. Money management is the decision-making process that follows a trading signal. And really, I mean, think about it. Forex Dominator gives you the trading signal, and then we teach you the decision-making process that goes along with doing the money management through the built-in trade value calculator. So the goal here is to maximize profits while protecting your account against undue losses and overexposure. That's what money management is all about. Forex Dominator has the built-in money management rules and built-in money management calculator that gives you discretionary power to set up your own risk tolerance. And that's extremely important to traders if you're going to be successful. Successful traders practice a defensive money management approach. And we like to say the best offense is a good defense. And what we like to do is we like to minimize risk and protect our account for when adverse things happen in the market. We saw that sometimes the market can move sideways. Sometimes we can have counter trends. Well, Forex Dominator will alert you to those things. But remember, With an implosion trade, we're just testing the waters. So if an adverse thing happens, if price doesn't go in our favor, then we don't lose that much money. And that's the key. We like to follow the 3 golden rules of money management to succeed. And I suggest that you follow these rules as well. Number 1, we don't trade with what we can't afford or what we're not willing to lose. That's rule number 1. And that is the golden rule. Don't trade with what you can't afford to lose or what you're not willing to lose. Number 2, never take a trade that you believe is a sure thing. Number 3, before placing that trade, determine the consequences of it going south. Now, let me back up to number 2 because you never know whether a trade is going to happen or not, or whether it's going to be profitable or not. So never take that trade if you believe 100% sure that it's a sure thing, because you'll break the rules. You'll override the system. You'll override Forex Dominator and any other system out there that works, that you purchase or that you learn or that you know. You'll override the rules of your system. And then before placing that trade, determine the consequences of it going south. So if it goes against you, is it going to be detrimental to your account? Are you not going to be able to pay the mortgage this month? Those are the kind of things that you really need to know. Forex Dominator follows a simple 5-step approach to money management. Number 1, we simply rank profit opportunities, which are in this case trade alerts, against an objective yardstick of desirability, just like I showed you with our money management calculator. Then we decide on how much capital we're going to put at risk. And the software gives us the rules for this. The system gives us the rules for this. Then we allocate that capital across all the trades that we want to place. And we set our acceptable stop loss levels. And then we decide, obviously, on the number of lots to be traded per currency based upon our risk. And then we have an exit plan. It's that simple. Forex Dominator provides us with trade alerts based on predictable human behavior, and it automatically minimizes risk right from the start. The money management rules give you added discretion to adjust your risk parameters, and when a trade alert pops up, all you have to do is use the built-in value checklist to determine whether or not you want to place the trade. If it's a 2 or below, you don't want to place that trade. But if it's 3 or above, you will be able to determine exactly how much you're supposed to risk on that trade. And as I mentioned in the first video, Forex Dominator is able to adjust to the market conditions on the fly. So you saw the 3 trades and how powerful they are. It's like having the brain of a multi-million-dollar professional trader working on your behalf 24/7. In this case, 24/5.5, because that's when the markets are open for Forex. And that predicts the market moves up to 84% accuracy and how it will behave. You don't need to track what's happening in the markets. You don't need to be concerned with what's happening in the news. You don't need to worry about what's happening in the global economy. And you don't need to wade through reams of technical analysis. Who wants to do that? It's perfect for the novice as well as for the more experienced trader, because whether you're a novice or you're experienced, you're going to know when to get in and when to get out for maximum gains. You're going to avoid costly mistakes and shield yourself from risk with the built-in money management value system, as well as avoid costly mistakes because you're going to have the signals delivered right to you. And you're going to capture a bigger share of the profits in today's volatile markets. And you'll also be set up for success in the long term and on the road to financial security. That's what's happened for me, and that's what can happen for you. If you're looking to create that consistent revenue stream from trading, then Forex Dominator gives you that competitive edge. This is one of the safest and fastest ways that I know to trade, and it puts you in total control. Now, coming up in the next video, I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions that people have about Forex Dominator and trading in general. And if you have a question, go ahead and enter your comment below right now so that I can make sure I get to that question. And I'm also going to be sharing an exciting opportunity for you to win a $1,000 trading account with your name on it. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great trading day.